Tommy Cooper. April 15th, 1984. London, Her Majesty's Theatre. Around 12 million viewers across Britain were watching ITV, a live broadcast of Live from Her Majesty's. On stage was the legendary comedian Tommy Cooper. 63 years old, wearing his signature red fez and holding a magic wand. He began one of his classic tricks, pulling out a handkerchief, joking, waving his hands. Suddenly, Tommy fell silent. He clutched his chest, took a step back, and collapsed heavily to the floor. The audience burst into laughter. Everyone thought it was part of the act. He moved slightly, as if trying to get up, but this time it wasn't a joke. Behind the scene, doctors fought for his life for 5 minutes. A heart attack. Tommy Cooper died right in front of the entire nation, while the audience continued laughing for a few more seconds. One of the most chilling moments in television history. Phoenix, July 27th, 2007. Phoenix, Arizona. 2 news helicopters, KTVK and KNX-VTV, were simultaneously covering a police chase from the air. Live on air, thousands of viewers watched as the 2 helicopters flew side by side at a low altitude. Suddenly, they collided mid-air. A massive fireball erupted, and debris rained down below. Pilots Scott Bowerbank and Craig Smith, along with photographers Jim Cox and Rick Krolak, were all killed instantly. The helicopters crashed into Steel Indian School Park. On the broadcast, colleagues could be heard screaming, "Scott! Scott!" The cameras continued to capture smoke and wreckage for several more seconds before the director finally cut the feed. One of the most horrifying aviation disasters ever witnessed lived by millions of Americans. Professor Rita Jitendra, September 12th, 2018. India, Doordarshan Channel, The Morning Program, Good Morning J&K. In the studio is political analyst and Professor Rita Jitendra. She calmly answers the host's question, speaking about current events. Suddenly, her voice breaks. Rita takes a deep breath, her eyes widen, and she clutches her chest. I can't. And she collapses forward onto the desk. The camera keeps rolling. The host, shocked, jumps up and calls for doctors. Within minutes, she is taken away, but at the hospital, her death is confirmed. A massive heart attack. It all happened in a matter of seconds, live on air. Viewers witnessed a life come to an abrupt end right before their eyes, in the middle of an ordinary morning interview. Murder on a Morning Show, August 26th, 2015, Virginia, USA. A morning broadcast on WDBJ-7. Reporter Allison Parker and cameraman Adam Ward are live on air, interviewing Vicki Gardner on a bridge. Everything seems calm. Suddenly, multiple gunshots are heard off camera. A former colleague, Vester Flanagan, carried out the attack. Allison screams and falls. Adam drops the camera. The broadcast cuts into chaos. Both were killed at the scene. The attacker also recorded his own footage and later posted it online. One of the most shocking acts of violence ever witnessed during a live television broadcast in the United States. Ulrike Meyer, January 29th, 1994. Garmisch-Partenkirchen, Germany. A live broadcast of the Alpine Skiing World Cup. Austrian champion Ulrike Meyer, 26, is racing down the course at around 100 kilometers per hour when she suddenly loses control and goes off the track. She crashes into the barriers, is thrown over them, and falls. Viewers witness everything in real time as she tumbles and her skis scatter. Ulrike suffered a fatal neck injury and died on the way to the hospital. The cameras did not cut away in time. Millions of people around the world witnessed the tragedy. After this incident, additional safety nets were urgently installed on ski courses. Death on the Dick Cavett Show. June 8th, 1971. New York, The Dick Cavett Show. The guest is 72-year-old publisher J.I. Rodale. He has just made a joke. "I plan to live to be 100. The host laughs. Rodale leans back in his chair and suddenly goes silent. His eyes close. His head tilts to the side. A sudden heart attack. At first, Dick Cavett thinks it might be part of the act, but then realizes the man has passed away in the studio, in front of the entire country. The show was immediately stopped. one of the most shocking and unsettling moments in the history of television talk shows. Michael Lush, November 13th, 1986, London, BBC Studio. The Late Late Breakfast Show, hosted by Noel Edmonds. A 24-year-old volunteer, Michael Lush, is rehearsing a stunt called Hang 'em High. He is secured in a straitjacket inside a box suspended from a crane about 37 meters high. The idea, the box explodes open, and he jumps, relying on a bungee line. Cameras are rolling, but something goes wrong. The clip attaching the line comes loose. Michael falls around 120 feet and hits the ground. He suffers multiple severe injuries. Emergency services arrive within minutes, but he cannot be saved. The show was permanently canceled just 2 days later. Noel Edmonds stepped away from broadcasting. This incident led to major changes in safety rules for dangerous stunts on British television. Kenneth Keith Stedman. September 20th, 1996, El Mirage Desert, California. Filming of the sci-fi series Sliders. 27-year-old actor Ken Stedman is driving a dune buggy while shooting a chase scene. The cameras are rolling, and between takes, it seems like a routine run. Suddenly, the buggy flips over at high speed. Ken is thrown from the vehicle and suffers fatal injuries in front of the crew. Filming is stopped immediately. What was meant to be an ordinary day on the set of a science fiction show turned into a real-life tragedy. Challenger disaster. January 28, 1986, Cape Canaveral, a live NASA broadcast. Millions of Americans, including schoolchildren, are watching the launch of the Space Shuttle Challenger. On board are teacher Krista McAuliffe and 6 astronauts, just 73 seconds after liftoff. A massive explosion. The shuttle breaks apart in the sky. Obviously, a major malfunction, the announcer says. All 7 crew members are lost. It became one of the most devastating space tragedies ever broadcast live around the world. Owen Hart, May 23rd, 1999. Kansas City. WWF-PPV Over the Edge. Owen Hart, dressed as the superhero Blue Blazer, is scheduled to descend from the arena ceiling on a harness straight into the ring. 18,000 fans in the arena, and millions more watching live on pay-per-view are ready. Suddenly, the harness snaps. Owen falls 24 meters. He hits the ring ropes at 50 miles per hour. Commentator Jim Ross shouts, "This isn't part of the show. This is real." Owen dies from internal injuries a few minutes later. The show continues, but this moment becomes one of the darkest in wrestling history. Godfrey Gao, November 27th, 2019. Ningbo, China. During filming of the extreme reality show Chase Me, 35-year-old actor and model Godfrey Gao is undergoing intense physical challenges. Suddenly, he clutches his head, staggers, and falls face first to the ground. Cameras continue rolling. On-site medical staff rush to help, but it's a heart attack. Godfrey dies on the way to the hospital. The show is immediately halted, and Chinese authorities begin reviewing safety conditions for reality show productions. Millions of viewers witnessed the tragedy live on air. Eddie Garcia, June 8th, 2019. Philippines. During filming of a TV drama, legendary 90-year-old actor Eddie Garcia trips over a cable while shooting a scene. He falls face first onto the asphalt. A severe head injury occurs. Cameras capture everything. He is rushed to the hospital. For 12 days, he fights for his life, but on June 20th, he passes away from complications. The entire nation mourns. Eddie was an icon of Philippine film and television. Even the final scenes of the drama had to be reshot.